Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. This tutorial is about the Hebrew vowels, as you can see from the screen here. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through, I'm going to introduce you to the sounds of all the Hebrew vowels. I am probably not going to get into, at this particular point, what the names of them are, but I want you to know how they all sound. I teach a lot of B'nai Mitzvah students, a lot of students studying for their bar bat mitzvah, and I think probably the most common thing that I come across is not so much students who have trouble with the consonants, which you'll see right here. These are all the different consonants, and but it's not people don't have trouble with the consonants as much as they have trouble with the vowels. And I've found that once people really get their vowels under their belt, everything about their reading starts to improve dramatically and fast. So that's why we're going to do today, we're going to go through all the Hebrew vowels. So I'm going to bring up a new page here. I'm going to bring out our friend Aleph here. For those of you who don't know, this is not a vowel. This is the Hebrew letter Aleph. It has no sound that we know of today. It's essentially a silent consonant, and that's what makes it perfect for introducing all the different vowels that we are going to learn. So the first one we're going to learn, this vowel is called patach, and it's just basically it's a little line. It's just a line that goes underneath the aleph, and it sounds like ah. And I'm going to write in here that that's what we're looking at. Okay, so it equals ah. Okay. Now I'm gonna move. I want to move this a little bit out of the way here, because we're gonna actually come up with quite a few of them here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. All this stuff a little bit smaller, and let's put it all up here, shall we? Okay, so that's ah. All right, actually let me move it a little bit further. All right, now what else is ah? We've got another ah. Okay, so let's bring out another aleph. We've got an ah that looks like a little T. This is called kamatz. Okay, and that also sounds like ah. Now, if you are from the Ashkenazi world, if you live in the Ashkenazi world, and when I say the Ashkenazi world, I mean actually the religious Ashkenazi world, Orthodox or other type of traditional Jew, you might think of this vowel as ah, and you might hear it as ah. I'm going to go with the traditional, what is currently the traditional Israeli pronunciation, which is based on Sephardic, and we're going to go with ah. You don't have to know. If you don't know what Ashkenazi and Sephardic is, don't worry about that so much right now. It's just the two main traditions of Judaism that arose in the West, in Sephardim in Spain and Ashkenazim in Germany, or German areas. And then, of course, everybody spread all over the place. But that's a whole other topic. In any case, what you need to know is that both this and this are ah. Okay, let's bring out another aleph, and we have another ah that I want you to be aware of, and that is chataf patach. Chataf patach is basically like a half patach, so it also sounds like ah. You're really not going to ever notice the difference between how any of these three vowels sound. They're all ah. Okay. Now there's one more here that I want you to be aware of. You would think, because this is ah right here, you would think because this is ah, that if I put this under an aleph, that that's also, but you would be wrong. Okay, that is not correct. So we are going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to use one of the funky little tools that I have here. All right, I can actually just go ahead and draw a red X through that. Okay, that is not ah. That is O. And we'll get back to that in a few minutes. Okay, so that's ah. Let's take a look now at what I'm going to call E. Okay, E or A. Okay, all right, so now we've got E. Let's bring out our friend Aleph again. Okay, so there's our Aleph. And our first A is this little guy right there. Whoops. Okay, 3 dots. E. Okay. Let's bring out another Aleph. Aleph is getting a workout today. So now we've got another one which sounds like A, and that's also, now this let me get my laser pointer here again. Now this E and this A, there should be a slight difference between them. This one sounds more like the E in bed or head or dead or lead, and this one should sound more like day, way, ray. But you don't want to necessarily get quite as far as having the y, the a sound at the end. Okay, you want to save that. But I mean, as you're reading, for the purposes of learning, it's enough to know that these essentially make the same sound, or if not exactly the same, at least a similar enough sound that that you can remember them easily. And the other way to do it is by noticing that there's 2 dots across. Look at that, 2 dots across. Okay, so let's take a look at another A. Okay, let's bring out our friend again. Hey, what happened over there? There he is. Okay, so what do you think? It's a chataf, what's called a segol. This is a segol. This is tsere. And this is chataf segol, not like a half segol. Okay, so what you'll notice again that they all have in common, they all have at least 2 dots across. This one has 3 dots in a straight line, but we're most concerned that if there's at least 2, you know that that sound is going to make A. Okay, now let's look at another A. Okay, so let's bring out, you guessed it, our good friend Aleph. Okay, now this A is going to have is going to be a little bit different. Okay, it's got our tsere under it, just like this other one does. But this has, in addition to tsere, this is going to have this little guy here, which you may recognize as the letter yud. Okay, now when it's got the yud, it's definitely going to sound like the A in day or way or ray with the y sound at the end. Okay, so, but again, what I just want you to keep in mind is that if you see 2 dots across, 2 dots across, 2 dots across, all of these guys have 2 dots across. Doesn't matter how many other dots there are. If there's at least 2 dots horizontal across from each other, then you're going to be making the sound A. Okay, that is where I'm going to leave this particular tutorial. I'm going to add some more vowels in the next one, and we're going to get through this in 2 or 3 lessons. Okay, see you in the next one.